Hello, this webinar is a part of the Cycle of Freedom series and is titled "The Free Flow of Information is Vital for Freedom." That is, an educated and informed electorate is mission critical to freedom and liberty. In this series so far, we've explored the cycle of freedom and the effort that it takes to stay on the side of courage, strength, and liberty. And teaching each generation the principles of liberty is mission critical. That is, teaching them the habits of a heart as a foundation, whatever's true, noble, right, pure, and lovely, and admirable, or excellent, or praiseworthy, to think about such things. To talk about virtue, that is moral goodness and moral duties, moral excellence, and voluntary obedience to the truth. To practice the moral duties of courage, self-responsibility, truthfulness, trustworthiness, benevolence, fidelity, purity, and the others on this list. We've discussed all of these in this series so far as mission critical for citizens to keep in their hearts so that a society stays on the left side of the cycle of freedom. But for all of this to happen in a society, there needs to be a free flow of information. That is, the democratic gamble, the best, the most true, the most human, the most just, the most liberating, and most beautiful views must prevail in open debate in generation after generation. If they do not, the American experiment will fail in the end, especially if there's no agreement as to whether there is any such thing as truth underlying the debates. Freedom requires truth and virtue and the wisdom of their limits. Freedom assumes a wise decision about what is believed to be true and good and beautiful, and especially about what a human person is assumed to be. Well, what is the state of things today between truth and error? Well, writer Patricia Dixon has this, a statement of nation. Writer Patricia Dixon has some thoughts along these lines. Have we become a nation of talking heads and talking parrots? The most disheartening thing that I have learned about certain young adults is they lack breadth on the issues that they claim to be well informed on. The media and universities are to blame for this. These individuals only learn a set of talking points. When they're presented with facts that destroy the narrative, they just move on to the next talking point without even acknowledging the facts, or they start attacking you. They begin to accuse you of everything that they actually believe and attempt to put their thoughts in your head. How can a person go through life parroting talking points? What's going to happen to the individual when he or she is faced with reality? And most importantly, what is going to happen to America with these individuals as future leaders? We've arrived at a state of things that people are confident in their ignorance. The problem is that there's a large portion of people that have too high an estimation of themselves. They believe they are intelligent and informed, but because of their media consumption and lack of reflection, they are not. But in our feel-good culture, where everything is based on a person's feelings or self-perception, actual knowledge does not matter. Just having a feeling you are smart and informed is enough. So we have a situation far worse than a mass of people that do not think. We have a mass of people that think they think, but do not think. They have unbounded confidence in their ignorance. Is this what we have in the U.S. population, like the film WALL-E, where we have sedentary, non-engaged, non-reflective human beings whose minds have been so infiltrated with the media narrative that they can't think for themselves? If you've seen this movie because you had youth, you will remember these images quite well. Well, an intelligent and informed electorate is required. The basic principle of American experiment is that it was to be a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. This type of government would not survive if the people did not maintain a constant vigilance and thereby develop what Jefferson called an intelligent and informed electorate. An intelligent and informed electorate. An intelligent and informed electorate. A huge need exists in society to recapture the skill of thinking, the skill of discernment, the awareness of what is wisdom and what is foolish, and the mental skills to be aware of propaganda and deception. Jefferson expanded on this. The firmness with which the people have withstood the late abuses of the press and the discernment they have manifested between truth and falsehood show that they may be safely trusted to hear everything true and false and to form a correct judgment between them. The American people can be trusted when they hear the actual truth. The problem is getting it. Jefferson also said, error of opinion may be tolerated where reason is left free to combat it. Well, what about you? Are you an independent thinker, or are you a group thinker, simply holding all the popular positions that everyone else in the culture and media hold? Is it easier to just coast with the dominant media culture than to challenge the PC pop culture and think for yourself? Have you ever questioned some aspect of a political party you have voted for in the past? Have you ever explored deeply a social or economic issue beyond the talking points you've been fed? Is there any universal moral principles that are true for all peoples at all times, everywhere? How do you know? I'd like to challenge you and your social networks and friends to these questions and to seek answers and to seek the truth. St. Augustine said, the truth is like a lion. You don't have to defend it. Let it loose and it will defend itself. I hope this gives us all something to think about. This is U.S. Civics Training. Thanks for listening.